The year is 1260. A shadow stretches across the known world. It moves with the speed of the wind and the fury of a storm. This is the Mongol Empire. For decades they have been an unstoppable force of nature. A tide of destruction has washed over Asia and Eastern Europe. Cities that stood for 1,000 years were turned to dust in days. From the shores of the Pacific to the plains of Hungary, kings and emperors have fallen before them. No army has halted their advance. No fortress has withstood their siegecraft. Their reputation precedes them, a whisper of terror on the wind. This is not just conquest. It is a complete reordering of the world. The Mongols, under the great Genghis Khan and his successors, have built the largest contiguous land empire in history. Their horsemen are the finest the world has ever seen. Their generals are masters of strategy and psychological warfare. They demand total submission or total annihilation. Now, this seemingly invincible force has crushed Persia. It has obliterated the legendary assassins. It has sacked the glorious city of Baghdad, leaving it a smoldering ruin. The Caliph himself was executed. At the head of this western push is a formidable general. But this is not the end of our story. It's just the beginning of one of history's most pivotal moments. Before we dive in, subscribe and hit the bell. You won't want to miss a single moment. Now let's meet the men who dared to stand. In Egypt, a new power has risen. They are the Mamluks. Not a traditional dynasty of kings, not princes either. A warrior class, former slave soldiers. They have seized control of the Sultanate, the ultimate military meritocracy. Their leader is Sultan Saif al-Din Qutuz, captured by the Mongols as a child, sold into slavery. He rose through the Mamluk ranks. He knows the Mongols, their brutality. He is forged by conflict, devout and pragmatic. Mongol envoys arrive in Cairo with demands. Qutuz sees diplomacy as futile. He answers with a sword. The envoys are executed, their heads hung on the city gates. A shocking act of defiance. Qutuz must rally a fractured, terrified kingdom. He needs soldiers, he needs money, he needs allies. He turns to his rival, Baybars al-Bundukdari, political enemies, but unity is their only hope. The Mamluk army that marches out of Cairo is a sight to behold. It is a professional fighting force, drilled and disciplined. These are not feudal levies or peasant conscripts. The Mamluks are masters of horsemanship and masters of archery, trained from boyhood in the arts of war. Their equipment is superb. They wear heavy lamellar armor, a stark contrast to the lighter gear often favored by the Mongols. Their primary weapon, like their enemy, is the powerful composite bow, but they are also masters of the lance, the sword, and the mace. Qutuz knows he cannot win a simple war of attrition. He is outnumbered. The Mongols have a seemingly endless supply of men. The Mamluks' greatest advantage, however, is their familiarity with the terrain. Qutuz decides he will not wait for the Mongols to invade Egypt. He will take the fight to them in Palestine. He secures a pact of passive support from the Christian Crusaders based in Acre. The Crusaders, despite their historical enmity with the Muslims of Egypt, fear the Mongols even more. They allow the Mamluk army to pass through their territory unmolested and even provide them with vital supplies. This decision is a strategic masterstroke. Meanwhile, the Mongol commander, Kitbuka, faces his own set of challenges. A succession crisis far away has forced Hulagu Khan to withdraw with the bulk of his army. He marches south, into the Jezreel Valley. On the morning of September 3, 1260, two armies face each other across the valley of Ain Jalut. The air is thick with tension. The fate of the world rests on this field. Qutuz has a brilliant plan. He knows the Mongols' standard tactic is a feigned retreat meant to lure enemies into a disorganized pursuit. He hides the bulk of his elite Mamluk heavy cavalry in the wooded hills. He will use a smaller forward force as bait. The battle begins. Baybars leads the Mamluk vanguard into the valley. They clash with the Mongols. Arrows fill the sky like a black cloud. Steel on steel and cries of men and horses echo through the hills. For hours, Baybars and his men fight desperately. They are slowly pushed back. The Mamluk line starts to waver, the critical moment. Kitbuka expects this and orders pursuit. The Mongols surge forward, discipline loosening. They pour deeper into the valley. Qutuz gives the signal. From the trees and hills, both flanks erupt. Hidden Mamluk heavy cavalry thunders down. The hunters become the hunted. Mongols are hit from three sides at once. Their long pursuit is thrown into chaos. Qutuz throws off his helmet so men can see him. He shouts, "O Islam!" He charges into the thick of the fighting, inspiring his troops. The tide has turned dramatically and violently. The fighting at Ain Jalut rages for hours. It is a desperate, bloody struggle. Mongol troops caught in a trap, fighting like cornered wolves. They refused to break. They refused to surrender. Kitbuka, a giant in stature and spirit, he fights to rally his men. The Mamluk onslaught is relentless. He watches his army cut to pieces around him. He does not flee. He is captured.
Brought before Sultan Qutuz, defiant and unbowed, he warns his death will be avenged.
Qutuz, unmoved, orders the execution.
With the death of their leader, their resistance collapses. The battle turns into a rout. The Mamluks pursue without mercy. The once invincible Mongol army is shattered, a victory of stunning completeness. The myth of Mongol invincibility is broken. News spreads like wildfire. In Damascus, the people rise. The Mongol garrison is slaughtered. Within weeks, Baibars and the Mamluks liberate Syria. Mongol remnants are pushed back across the Euphrates. Ain Jalut marks the high watermark of Mongol conquests. They never again seriously threaten Egypt. The Mamluk Sultanate emerges as preeminent Muslim power for 250-plus years. Guardianship, Mecca, guardianship, Medina, saviors of Islamic culture and heritage. Ain Jalut changed the world forever. It ensured survival of Islamic civilization after Baghdad's sack. It prevented a Mongol invasion of North Africa and a potential pincer into